Okay, on to the next section. We're on the Hall of Records. This is a place where you can reflect and see your wins because it's really easy to forget the things that we've achieved until someone literally shows them to us. But it is split into three sections. So, the very first section is banking and archiving. Every habit log makes a new entry in Notion using this system. So every time you click log it, it creates a new page. And over time, this could get a little laggy. So I've put the banking system in place so that you can delete your oldest logs without losing any of your points or messing up your balance. And this just keeps all of the numbers steady and matching. So it makes your points permanent. Take a look at the graph on the left here. This graph here may not be visible to you if you're a free user because there is a limitation on how many visible graphs you can actually have at any one point. But I do have a secondary view down here for free users so that you can always see how many points you have that are currently bankable. You can delete one of these views if you're a free user and you don't want to keep this one visible anymore, then just feel free to get rid of it. It's not going to break anything. To actually bank the points, you can see I've got 124 points available to bank here. I just come to this button, click it, and it opens up a ledger log for me. It'll put the title in automatically, and then I have these sections to fill in. If you scroll down, you can see your stats visible below, so you never have to remember what's on the previous screen. It'll always come up in the new page for you. So first of all, I enter my points, which are here on the left, and I have 124 points available to log. And I put in the amount of habits I've logged to earn those points, which in this case is 25. So 25 actual clicks of the log it button. Then there's two optional sections here, this week's win and top habits. These are just places to put notes for your own recollections so that you can remember what it is that you did during this time period to earn these points. And it's just a way of celebrating yourself. So for this week's win, and it may be more than a week, but we're just calling it this week's win. It's this period when I'm going to take a look at what I've done. I've been really consistent with taking meds and doing my morning check-in and clearing my inbox. But for my big win, I'm actually going to say that I've actually spent more time clocking my hobbies. And then for the top habits, I'm actually going to put my top 3 in. That's what I quite like doing for this. I'm going to press Shift and Enter to have a new line, and you'll see later on where these notes come back up. Those are the only 4 details you need. Really, you only need these 2. Once you've done that, you just scroll down to the bottom and click the green Bank It button. And as soon as you do that, don't panic too much. The page will go blank because all of these data points now won't count anymore. It's essentially saying, yes, I've banked everything that's on this page. They're no longer bankable. And then from there, you just come back out and it'll save your ledger so that those points still belong to you. You will still have 734 points as I had before, but now it is marked that they will be safe to delete when the time comes. So scrolling on down, you can see here, delete old logs. So essentially, once logs age past a month, they aren't going to be included in any of the analytics anymore. And so long as you've banked those points from those logs, then you're safe to delete them. So you can see here, it's the 12th of November today, and I've got logs from the 11th of October and before then. And as long as I've banked those points, which I have, otherwise they wouldn't show in this list, I can delete them. So I'm just going to come to the top left hand here, click on the box at the top, and that will select everything visible. And I'm literally just going to delete. Nothing else to it. It's not going to break anything. So long as I only delete from this view, then it's absolutely fine to do that. Again, you can change this system up if you're really comfortable with Notion. If you're a power user, then you can change this system up however you like. For me personally, I find that keeping a month of logs is more than enough for how the system works and the kinds of things that it tracks. Moving on down below the banking section here, we also have ranks and achievements. This is where you can celebrate what you've achieved so far using this system. So again, we have another stats card showing my level, how many habit logs I've made, and my next rank. So as well as levels, we have ranks and badges. Ranks are just a little bit of a motivation to push you to bank more points and progress further through the levels. Currently, I'm at Ember and I'm 1 level away. I'm actually 86% of the way to achieving the Spark rank. So every time I unlock a rank, it'll give me like a little trophy here. So there's a little collectible for you to work towards. There are also badges, and badges are earned by individually tracking habits. So your first 10 habits will get you seed starter. And then from there on, you'll keep on earning little badges that remind me of like little scouting badges for every series of habits that you log. You don't need to change anything about the system to do this. It'll do it automatically for you as long as you're tracking the amount of habits that you're logging in the previous banking screen. Everything should work fine. Over on the right then we have records, and this is where the bank statements, if you like, or bank logs that I showed you previously, this is where you get to see those details. So if you want to look back over any habits, any patterns that you've had, you can see I was really excited that week about how good I'd been at doing the laundry, walking the dog, little things just to celebrate for myself to help me feel a little bit more confident in what I'm actually doing. I just think it's a really nice way to use it. You don't have to, and you can see here I didn't in this week. I just logged the points and moved on because I just didn't have the time, and that's fine too. On the next page, then we have rewards. I spent most of my points on a single day out for myself, and I'm saving for another, but I am going to be better about logging my smaller rewards because honestly, I have them anyway. But again, if you only want to use this to track big rewards like this, then that's fine too. Use the system however you feel works for you. Every time you purchase a reward, it'll give you the data here saying when you bought it, how many points you spent, and then any notes that you've added yourself. And then moving on down again, we've got the analytics page. Now, really, really important here because an issue that we can face sometimes with ADHD, and people without ADHD face it too, is an issue of perfectionism and trying to set expectations too high and of punishing ourselves for not always hitting the mark. The whole idea of these analytics isn't to make you feel guilty about what you aren't doing, but it's about trying to help you celebrate what you are doing. So try and bear that in mind for all of these graphs. And if any of them make you feel like they're depressing to look at, then just get rid of them. Just edit this page however works for you. The first graph here is the last 7 days, your top 10 habits. So this is the closest that I'll ever get to showing a 7-day streak. Streaks are something that I've talked about a few times on TikTok, where I feel like they're potentially quite damaging to us if it turns into a competition or a perfectionism issue. But it can be quite motivating to see just over the last 7 days how good have I been at doing this thing. And you can see like some of these things I'm really not that very good at. I've only used my walking pad twice in the last week, but that's fine, and it's showing me, it allows me to create a chain to say, well, today maybe I'll fill that diamond again. And if I've got a gap back here, like I do with my meds, then it doesn't matter because in 2 days it's going to disappear and I won't even remember it was there. So it's just giving this ability to track some kind of streaks without worrying about, well, if I break the chain, then it doesn't count anymore, because the chain's only ever going to be 7 days long anyway. The next graph is your top 10 this month, so habits that you've tracked the most often. These usually stay about the same for me, but some new things are coming up. Hobby time and my walking pad is starting to get more frequent, which is nice. And again, this doesn't rely on a streak like with the previous. This is just total times in the last 4 weeks. A similar thing, again, with free users, at this point on, you may not see all of these graphs because there is a limit to how many graphs Notion will allow you to display, unfortunately. But if you are on a paid Notion membership, you will see a pie chart for the categories of habits that you've logged this week, and you can also see over the last month as well. Down below that, we have 3 more charts. The first one is for how many habits you've logged per day. This will go up and down depending on your rhythms and how you're doing. Like I had a super productive day yesterday, but that's not typical for me. And then meals that you've tracked per day. Again, you can see I'm really not perfect here, but trying to get some more consistency again recently. And it's helpful to see if you can spot any skip days. And, I know that I ate something on those days. I just didn't track it. I could go back and I can find the ledger for the October 30th and I can track them now if I want to. I'm probably not going to though, because I'm trying to learn how to embrace, less perfectionism. The last one here, nourishing meals, is actually a cumulative graph just to have a slightly different view on things. So every time I've ticked off a meal as being cumulative, as being nourishing, sorry. It'll show me I've had 10 nourishing meals out of my total so far this month, and that's fine. It's not a judgment, it's just those are 10 meals that are more nourishing than I probably would have made otherwise. That's it for this page. And again, for the analytics, just customize things as you see fit. Anything that you don't like how it's presented, or if it makes you feel bad, just get rid of it entirely. It's not going to break anything. These are literally just drawing from data. They're not going to delete any databases or anything if you get rid of these views. Everything's perfectly safe. The next section we're going to talk about is where you can edit all of this data, and that's in the systems page. So I will see you at the top of that page.